This might be the hardest part because your emotions, the thoughts in your head might tell you to procrastinate, to wait until everything is perfect, but there is never a perfect time. When Noah went to build the ark, he didn't wait when he saw the rain clouds. He did it when it was sunny, and he just had that obedience to the call. There's never going to be a perfect time because the goalpost will always get further. So it's better that you start now. It's better that we lock in and we build momentum before 2026 so that when 2026 shows up, we've already having momentum and alignment from within.
You are not hidden.
Hey there, if you have been following me since last year, then maybe you know that this is now a tradition we do every single year. We take the moment to reflect, we take the moment to realign, and we take the moment to lock back in. I'm just so grateful for how God has shown up this year. There have been many highs, many lows, and we are nearing the end of 2025. I crossed six figures again. We traveled to Texas, to New York. I stayed there for a few months. I was in Tulum for our first in-person client retreat. I was there for a couple months, and then I was in Bali for a few months. And I'm so excited. I already have some things planned for next year on the travel list. Right now, I'm home for the holidays, and it is time to get clear, baby, on where we are headed. In this video, you're gonna walk away with 5 steps that I take when I want to lock back in. Because if you've been watching this video, if you clicked on this video, that tells me you've probably been doing a lot of this when really you want to be doing this, and you feel like this, and you want to feel like this. So we're going to help you get there, because every time this time of year rolls around, I'm not playing around, and neither should you. Last year I said if you've been doing a lot of the scrolling, if you've been doing a lot of the binge watching, but you haven't been putting in the grind, then maybe you've evolved. Maybe you have been grinding. Maybe you have been putting in the work. And there's just another level of evolution happening that I see. And it is time. It's time for a deeper surrender. There's a shift happening in the world, and the ones who stay ahead are the ones who will evolve. Because no amount of strategy, no amount of coaching can help you in those small moments where it's up to you to be obedient, where it's up to you to self-regulate and steward with excellence. Maybe you clicked on this video because your focus has been fractured, your motivation has just been like slipping through your fingertips. And it's not because you don't care. You actually care too much. Maybe you've been pouring from an empty cup, busy surviving instead of building from a place of overflow and alignment. And the harsh truth is, 2026 is right around the corner, and it's not gonna wait for you to get in alignment. It's not gonna wait for you to get ready, but it is going to reward those who are regulated, the ones who take responsibility, extreme ownership of their current reality. And so in this video today, I am sharing, breaking down the 5 steps that I take whenever I want to rebuild my momentum in life. This is what actually works. Like, this is stuff that I tangibly use. So grab your beverage of choice. I have my decaf coffee, no milk, straight up decaf with me. All right, love. Step 1, you have to get honest about where you are. Most people try to build momentum from denial, but you have to be really honest with yourself. I was reading the book 10x is easier than 2x, and it so frequently touches on how important it is to look back at what you have achieved so you can be motivated, proud of yourself to move forward. Every morning, I look at where I was a few years ago, 2 years ago, 1 year ago, and I remind myself of those 10x jumps so I know that it is possible and where I'm wanting to go. So first step is get really, really clear on where you came from. Maybe you are no longer working a 9 to 5. You quit your 9 to 5. You went all in on entrepreneurship. maybe this year. Maybe you have hit your first 20K month in your business this year. Maybe you've hit your first 40K month, 100K month. Maybe you were able to tithe the most amount that you ever had before. Have you taken a moment to sit down and look back at what you have achieved, what you have accomplished this year? And then once you understand what you have actually tangibly achieved, it's time to get really clear on where I'm at right now. Because guess what? Where I'm at and where I want to be, it's very far off. I have very big goals, and if you're watching this video, you probably do as well. And there might be areas where we're avoiding responsibility. We're avoiding those hard conversations that are necessary for us to build momentum and to lock in. Where have you been numbing out instead of leaning in? Where have you been allowing yourself to get distracted? Maybe you've been scrolling lately on Instagram. It's time to set strict rules about not scrolling on Instagram. If you're gonna scroll on Instagram or TikTok, go to Pinterest. Pinterest actually has like amazing ideas, and it gets you in the energy of like, okay, visualization, I can do that. But when I am just scrolling on Instagram, my energy, like my joy, my motivation, it just goes down. What if you started to act like the person that you wanted to become? So I invite you to pull out a journal right now and take this time to really write down like where you feel that you're avoiding responsibility and where you feel like you've been cutting corners. That's going to give you the awareness. Don't shame yourself. Do this from a place of love. Do this from a place of like, I love myself so much that I'm willing to look at these areas, because guess what? People who don't love themselves typically won't make time for what you are doing right now. So you love yourself. You have a strong relationship with trust. Now it's time to deepen it even more. Step 2 is to regulate before you react. So whenever a Olympic world champion is getting ready to have their performance, are they stretching? Are they gearing up for that big race? Yes. And you have to too. Think of yourself like an athlete. Think of yourself like you're in a performance, especially if you're an entrepreneur, you're building a business. This is not a sprint, this is a marathon. We have to take those moments before we go and we really lock in to regulate, to pray, to spend time with God. What does your Sabbath look like? Are you intentionally taking time away from work and actually saying no more often, minimizing the amount of energy expending on tasks that don't actually serve you? That is what's going to give you back some of your energy so we can have a nice final push for the end of the year. The version of myself that creates real results doesn't do it from a place of rush, doesn't do it from a place of overwhelm. I do it from a place of overflow. I do it from a place of regulation, not reaction, from a place of love and not hate. So, love, before I take that time and I go all in on my goals and my vision, I make sure I take the time to regulate, I pray, and I rest. What does that look like tangibly? That could look like actually taking cold showers. Now, if you're a woman, you want to be careful about taking cold showers because it can interrupt our hormonal cycle. So if you're a guy, take cold showers. Like, you have the liberty to do that. I wish I could, but I can't all the time. That could look like doing breath work, guided by the Holy Spirit, of course, and taking long walks, taking breaks, actually Sabbathing, having a day of the week where you don't take any calls and you don't go on social media and you just spend time with God. That was me all day yesterday. I was just spending time with God. I was fasting, praying, and now I can show up today with just more ease and overflow, and like I can give you the best version of myself, which is what you deserve. Peace is productivity. Now, step 3 is to recommit to your vision. Every time that I have lost momentum or I have gotten off track, it was because I lost the vision of where I was going to go. It's so very clear. A man without a vision, he will perish. And in those moments, I typically react about what's going on around me instead of thinking about eternal thoughts, thinking and putting my mind on heavenly thoughts. And so I invite you to sit with God, ask Him, what are you calling me to build in this season? And this isn't the version of you that wants to impress people. This isn't the version that is a desire for your own glory and your own kingdom and your own platform, but this is a desire to build up the kingdom, to have eternal impact. What does that vision look like? And yeah, map out what that could really be. Like, I truly want to create a community online full of God-fearing, powerful, faith-filled entrepreneurs. And when they walk into a room, it's like their presence, but because of the Holy Spirit that lives within them. And they are unshakable in their faith, and they are rooted and surrendered, and they've walked out into the deep end, and they know that it's truly just about seeking Him first, and everything else will come. That is what I desire. That is what I want. And how epic would it be to create a community full of those women and just be able to help others step into their God-given calling and empower others in this community. That is truly a vision that I want to see happen in this next year. But I don't want to give too much about what my vision is. That's just a tip of the iceberg. When your goals align with grace, momentum starts to feel natural again. Step 4 is to build systems not around hustling, but around peace. When you are so regulated and you have structure in terms of having time to rest and knowing when to take a step back, then love, what happens is so amazing, because when you do show up, it's like you are so productive and focused. Holding boundaries with peace. Structuring your day won't limit you, it'll actually protect your peace. And that could look like automating your content, that could look like batch creating content one day of the week, separating it off, like making sure that all of your content is done for the week on one day, and then you can then allocate time to deep work like filming content or answering DMs, answering clients, and then you have few days of the week where you do all calls. And I also have time with God as a non-negotiable. I have the gym as a non-negotiable, meal prep every week as a non-negotiable, so I'm hitting my macros and where I want to be with my fitness goals too. And the last step is to move before you feel ready. And this might be the hardest part, because your emotions and the thoughts in your head might tell you to procrastinate, to wait until everything is perfect. But there is never a perfect time. When Noah went to build the ark, he didn't wait when he saw the rain clouds. He did it when it was sunny, and he just had that obedience to the call. There's never going to be a perfect time, because the goalpost will always get further. So it's better that you start now. It's better that we lock in and we build momentum before 2026, so that when 2026 shows up, we've already having momentum and alignment from within. I call it faith momentum when I show up like the woman I'm becoming and take one step of obedient action every day. The clients will come, the opportunities will come, and peace is my compass. I'm no longer trying to find comfort, but I'm leaning into the discomfort. And I'm noticing where there is dis-ease, because there is a difference between dis-ease and discomfort. Discomfort is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's when you go to the gym and you do those hard reps and you increase your weight every single week, because it's about you progressing, right? But dis-ease is like that yellow to red light where it's showing you that this is not in alignment anymore. There's no peace here, and where there isn't peace, there won't be overflow. So when you feel that dis-ease, stop, check in with Holy Spirit, check in with your gut. What are you feeling? We don't make decisions based off of emotion, but we base it off of our gut feeling, and sometimes that can tell you that this is where I feel dis-ease. So it's time to change that. No longer submitting to the dis-ease in your day, but actually asking God and inviting Him into saying, how can I surrender deeper into where you're calling me to go, and following the Holy Spirit touch from within. If this spoke to you at all, love, I just want you to comment down below what you're taking away and what spoke and landed for you. I love you so much. Make sure that you lock in, but you do it with God, and don't just leave Him in the dust, because it's time that we build with Him. The women who are rising into 2026, they aren't the ones who are hustling harder. They're not the ones who are trying to get all the money that the market has. They're the ones who are stewarding with excellence what they have been given. They are walking in obedience and alignment to the calling on their lives, and they are a representation of royal priesthood and a holy nation. They're building systems around their sanity, and they're building businesses not from hustle, but from overflow. God is calling the people. He is raising up the women who can hold the weight of what He is promising. And that starts in this moment. That starts with locking in, by doing the quiet work when no one is watching. So, love, if you are ready to stop scrolling, to start stewarding the seeds that have been given to you, then welcome home and let's lock in.